What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and we are talking about Bellator 243, Chandler versus Henderson 2. Going to talk about the main card mainly. Also want to talk about two prelim fights. Let's get into it. First prelim fight, Adam Borish, Mike Hamill. Borish recently fought in the 145-pound tournament, did lose very quickly. I think it was in the first round to Darian Caldwell. Before that, though, he got two nice wins, beat Aaron Pico and also beat Pat Caron. I got Borish winning this fight against the tough Mike Hamill. I just don't think he's on his level. I think Borish is a guy that can compete with the high level guys at featherweight. 100%. I think he wins this fight. I think he gets a second round knockout. I think he's just a bit better everywhere, especially on the feet. He looks pretty good. I think he wins this fight second round KO. No odds out either for this fight, but if there are, I'll put them in the comments. But as of right now, no odds. So I guess maybe you can't bet on this one. Also, Chris Lencioni and AJ Agazon. Agazon, really high level BJJ guy. Chris Lencioni's pretty good BJJ too, but Agazon a bit more credentialed, a bit more high level. But as a mixed martial artist, Agazarm hasn't looked that great, man. He fought a guy who was 8-6 in his last fight. He got dropped. He got hit. I didn't really like the performance. Granted, he did get the submission win. Obviously, he's a much better grappler. His jiu-jitsu game is very high level. I think Lencioni beats him here. I think he wins a decision. Has higher level experience. Fought Taiwan Claxton, who's a good fighter. So he's fought some decent guys. I think he beats Agazarm, and you see a Lencioni decision victory. No odds here either as well. As I said, if they come up, I'll put them in the comments. Now let's get to the main card. Miles Jury and Georgi Karakhanyan. Jury, Ultimate Fighter veteran, really good fighter. Georgi Karakhanyan, really tough guy, veteran of Bellator, I believe also World Series. So he's a guy who's been around for a while. I think Jury pretty much wins a fairly clear unanimous decision. I think he's just a bit better on the feet without a doubt, and I think his defensive wrestling should be good here. I think they should hold true. I think he should be able to stop Georgie's takedowns. I know Georgie really tried to work a lot of takedowns against Emmanuel Sanchez. Granted, he couldn't win that one. He lost it. I think Miles Jury wins it. I think he stops the takedowns. I think he may even be able to get a submission, but I'm going to pick a decision win. He's a minus 230 favorite. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think he is a fairly safe pick, man. I just think he's more skilled than Georgie, so I'm going to ride with Miles Jury. And if you see 100 different places there, 185th in the world to 86th. Granted, the Tapology rankings, they're not really accurate, but just funny to see how far apart they could be. I think Tapology maybe needs to tighten up the rankings a bit because I don't think Karakhanyan's that far back in the lightweight division. Curtis Melander versus Sabaho Masi. I really like this fight. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Masi looked like a beast in his debut in Bellator. Quick knockout in 17 seconds. Melander wins a unanimous decision in his Bellator debut. Both had UFC careers. Melander definitely looked like a bright prospect in the UFC, but unfortunately, two-fight losing streak. Bilal Muhammad, Zaleski, Dos Santos, and then the UFC decided to release him. Sabaho Masi lost 3 straight in the UFC. It was Tim Means, and then Abdul Hazak El Hassan knocked him out twice. I got Melander winning this one. I think he does it by a unanimous decision. I think he's a bit better everywhere. I know that he doesn't really go for the kill that much, so I'm not going to predict a knockout. I think you see him Melander, fairly dominant decision. He's a minus 280 favorite. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think that he'll definitely win this one. I don't think Sabaho Masi has much of a shot other than, a huge punch. I just think Melander's the much more well-versed mixed martial artist here in this matchup. Now, moving up, Matt Mitrione and Timothy Johnson. Heavyweight fights are always fun, especially between two UFC veterans, two guys that are pretty tough. And now Timothy Johnson's practically a Bellator veteran. He's got 3 fights with Bellator. Lost his first 2 by quick stoppage against Congo and Vitaly Minikov. Mitrione, on the other hand, was looking good in Bellator, but has run into some losses. Has a loss to Ryan Bader, as well as the loss to Sergey Karatanov. This fight here is going to be fun. I'm excited for it. I got Johnson winning, though. I think Johnson's wrestling is going to be the difference. We've seen a hole in Mitrione's game in the past where guys take him down and can hold him down. I think Johnson does just that. I think you see a Johnson victory here. Now, I may be wrong, and we may see Matt Mitrione starch him because Johnson has been stopped in Bellator twice, was stopped once in the octagon, but normally he's pretty durable. I'm assuming he's going to look like he did against Tyrell Fortune, which was pretty good. And, I mean, granted, he didn't get hit with anything huge, but he looked good in there. He moved well. I think he beats Matt Mitrione, but never count out Matt Mitrione. He's a longtime vet. He was on The Ultimate Fighter Season 10 with Kimbo Slice. He beat Kimbo Slice, so he's an OG fighter, so you never know. He might pull it out. He looks good for 42, 100%, but I got the win for Timothy Johnson, who's also the underdog. Maybe you throw a little money down on Timothy and hope he has a good performance. All right, main event time. This fight is going to be sick. It's a rematch between two very high-level lightweights, Benson Henderson, the former UFC champion, and Michael Chandler, who's a Bellator legend. I got Chandler winning it again. He's a minus 240 favorite. to the plus 200 underdog. I really feel like those are fair odds. I think Chandler's just a bit better in athleticism wise, even striking wise. Not jiu-jitsu wise, I'm gonna lean Benson, but as far as wrestling, I think Michael Chandler is just a better fighter. I think he wins this one. I do think it's a decision because Benson Henderson is never an easy out, but I got Chandler 20-5 versus 28-8. These guys are long-time veterans of the sport, both in their mid-30s now. I wonder if a Chandler victory here, how many fights left he'll do with Bellator. I know he signed a contract, so he may be here for a while. He may never fight in the UFC. I'd be kind of curious to see how he does in the UFC, though, against some of the high-level lightweights. I wonder if he would make it up, into the top 5 or if he'd cap out somewhere in the top 10, because I do think he is a top 10 fighter in the world at the lightweight division. Benson Henderson, obviously former UFC champion, very high level accolades in the UFC. He wants that Bellator crown, and I think there's a chance that he could win it, but I don't think he beats Michael Chandler. I think it's not a good stylistic matchup. I think Chandler's just a bit too athletic for him. He's going to beat him here. Benson Henderson, though, a guy that I love. He's a savage. Always had that toothpick in the mouth fighting. I mean, he's a classic guy, and he's a special guy. Because, who fights with a toothpick? Only Benson Henderson. He's one of a kind. I really love him. I kind of hope he pulls through, but I got to pick Michael Chandler here for my actual prediction. And I like Michael Chandler, too. And I think it's fair to say that Chandler should get this one done. He's a big favorite, and I think that he's the right pick in this one. Granted, I wouldn't bet on this one because I do like Benson a lot, and I do kind of hope that he pulls this off. Overall, though, pretty fun Bellator card. Some prelims here against guys without too many fights. Bellator tends to do that. They're not like the UFC's undercards where they're guys that really had a long career making it to that point. But should be fun. I'm excited for it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Also follow my social medias, Twitter and Instagram. They'll be in the description as well as in the bottom of the screen there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.